And we got the draft coming up.
Yes. I'm excited. It's the draft always get me excited, man.
Yeah, I like draft night. It's fun.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Load of talent, man. You got Will Anderson Jr. I didn't know he was coming out.
Alabama.
C.J. Stroud.
At Ohio
You got
State.
Bryce Young.
Yep, Alabama kid.
Texans.
You got Devon A-Chain out of Texas A&M.
I got a question for you though. Do the Texans keep that number 2, or do they move up?
No, you keep it. Keep it. I don't think Chicago's going to do anything.
Yeah.
I think you just stay at 2, get your quarterback, and move on.
Guess who's moving up the ranks?
Who?
Richardson.
Really?
Florida. They're actually sitting down with him. Have you saw this guy's metrics?
Well,
this guy
is
ran a
6'5"? Is it 6'5" or something?
6'5", ran a 4.4 at the combine. Arm was thrown. He's flying off the radar. His stock is rising.
Yeah, he needs a good offensive line, and he's good.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, welcome back, everybody.
Yes.
Welcome back to the Core Compass podcast.
I was just on the phone this morning with a Dylan Bowles from Stanford. He's at the combine right now.
Really?
Wow.
He called me because he wants to talk about being a SEAL, and I was like, "What are you doing?
Wow,
combine, dude. Hey, NFL SEAL. I'll take.
About to go
NFL.
make some money. Make some money.
Yeah. Well, Dang. Well, welcome back to the Core Compass podcast. I'm Walker.
I'm Jeremy, and we're super excited today to be sharing another episode with you folks.
Yeah, our guest today is one of our best at Core Group.
Yes.
He is the president of the company.
Yes,
he has a 25-year career in the Navy.
Wow.
Was a SEAL Team 6 Navy SEAL. 8 tours of duty, including Iraq and Afghanistan. So, Matt, welcome. Thank you so much for having us.
Matt May, the legend. Yes,
Pleasure.
sir.
No legend.
Thank you so much for joining us. This is something really. We're excited to have you. So, Matt, if you could just go through kind of like how you got to Core Group, and then what your first big project was, or your first placement was. How did all that start? How'd you get here?
So I've known Matt almost as long as I've been in Texas. Basically came to him, this is us, post-COVID and everything. And I had my own company, and unfortunately COVID kind of blew it up.
Yeah.
But it was along the same lines as what kind of Core Group does. At first we were looking at, me as a candidate.
Yeah.
So I was interviewing with a few companies, and then Matt said, he goes, you know what? He goes, I need to grow this company. Mm-hmm. I know what you can do. I'd like you to see if you can duplicate what you did with your previous companies and see what we can do here.
Wow.
Obviously, things went very well.
Yeah.
We've grown
absolutely.
3-4x over the a year
That's
and a half,
fantastic.
2 years. So that's what brought me here. And in terms of my first job that I was working,
or project or placement, or
O'Rourke Petroleum was the first contract that I signed. And it's a little different now because I don't do the recruiting thing. But thank God. I'm not very good at it. I learned that real quick. But I was filling a sales role for them. Mm-hmm. It was definitely a challenge, but it was a really good learning experience to understand some of the pain that y'all go through.
Yeah. Did that your first deal?
Did you place it?
Yeah, we did place it.
Do you remember who it was?
Oh, I'd have to pull it up.
Okay.
This is 100 companies ago.
It'll come back to you.
Yeah. Thousands of candidates.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I know.
So you came in as a candidate, and then Matt was like, "Hey, we need you to," and you just kind of took it from there.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Wow.
That's
so,
crazy.
There's always a delicate dance between juggling your personal life and your professional life. Matt, how do you do it? Making this thing grow and keeping balance at home.
My wife would say that I put the company first versus the family, but that's not true. Family's everything.
Absolutely.
I want to provide, good for my kids, as we all do.
Absolutely.
You can't do that unless the company's doing well.
Yep.
So
That's right.
Wholeheartedly believe in the health of the organization first, because if the company's not healthy, then the employees aren't healthy.
That's right.
And you have to let people go. And I will take personal offense if I have to let people go because our company is retracting.
Right.
So I put a lot of effort into the health of the organization, so I can do the fun things with my family.
And,
Yeah.
and speaking of, how many kids? How many in the Matt May household?
3 daughters.
How old?
So they call it the team guy curse, because
Okay.
most SEALs
Yep.
have daughters.
Yeah.
We either blame it on cold water swimming, diving, something physiological
Yeah.
that affects.
It just
I
went
didn't
wrong.
know that. I didn't know SEALs a lot of daughter populated.
Lots of girls. Either that or it's God's way of saying,
there you go. There you go. I got 2 in college now, so I know.
You womanizers.
Yeah.
Here you go. Feel the pain.
Wow. So what's the ages?
20, 12, and 9.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So we're in the same, almost the same. I have a 20, 18, and 13. Yeah. So wow.
That's awesome.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I know you said that you knew Matt, to get here. What were you doing beforehand? I know in your company, what are some of the things you were doing beforehand?
So pre-COVID, I've worked for several different companies here in Texas and one in New Jersey, but I was the first employee for a Norwegian company here in Texas called TampNet Offshore Telecommunications. Great company.
Yep.
Very smart. Worked for another company called Ocean Power Technologies, utilizing wave technology to generate power through a buoy.
Oh, that's cool.
Again, very technology savvy, smart people. And then started a company called BSO Construction Services, which was predominantly placing or not placing. We weren't a recruiting staff company. We're an industrial construction company.
Yeah.
Working out at Cameron LNG and a bunch of other facilities in Louisiana.
Yeah.
We had about 300 employees at our high, and then unfortunately, COVID hit. All non-essential go home. Go from 300 employees March 1st to 15 employees on March 30th.
Yeah.
So quite painful.
That's a lot.
From there, I started an oyster company. I used to be in the restaurant business while I was in the military. Was on now the food purveyor side, delivering oysters to restaurants here in Houston for about a year or so, and then I sold that company and started working at Core Group.
How'd you get into oysters? Where'd that story?
One of the guys that worked with us at BSO had a shrimp boat.
Yeah.
And we thought we were going to be, Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Some shrimping. And unfortunately, the shrimp business here in the U.S. is definitely a China-based. They have everything. In fact, the shrimp that they catch in Louisiana is frozen, sent to China, clean, deveined, tail, head off.
Wow.
And then comes back to the U.S. It's cheaper to ship it to China and bring it back than it is to try and do all that here in the U.S. Not saying that companies aren't doing it.
Yeah, but it's just cheaper.
Wow.
Just cheaper, and we couldn't compete with the pricing for what the restaurants wanted. I wasn't going to sit there and devein and dehead, a million shrimp myself.
So you was running the business operations, you was doing oysters, you hands-on, everything.
Yeah. We bought a boat, we bought some leases, we bought a building. I did everything we were supposed to. I took all the health
permits and all that stuff.
Through classes.
Yeah, that's a lot. To do.
Yeah, it was a very long year.
Yeah.
That way. Yeah. But sold it and then came here.
God had a plan for you to be here.
Yeah.
Not do oysters.
I love oysters, but not that much.
Not that much.
Yeah. So Matt, let me ask you this. In terms of our core values, I have a favorite, Walker's favorite, mine's God-centered. Which one of our core values kind of resonate with you, and that you had, if you had to pick one, which one would that be?
Well, God is first. I mean, we all know here at Core Group,
absolutely,
God-centered is priority one.
Yeah.
But outside of that, it's a tough choice because I grew up in the Navy, in the SEAL community, and honesty, integrity was paramount.
Absolutely.
If you can't trust the guy next to you,
you're done.
Yeah. The team will fail. Everything fails.
Yeah.
But then here, people have to be self-motivated.
Yeah. That's a good one.
You've got a team. You've got an account manager. But
that's right.
Honesty, integrity, and self-motivation.
That's right.
Those
are two great
paramount to success here.
Self-motivation. There it is. Yeah. There it is.
Yep. I love that one. I love honesty and integrity too.
I got another question for Matt. I'm curious to hear this one. What would you say? Because you're to us, you're a hero. You do what you do here. You've served our country, and by the way, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
What would you say your biggest fear?
So I can't say that I'm afraid of a lot.
I'm sorry, that made me laugh.
I mean, you get shot at, you get blown up.
That's what
sometimes,
I say. Yeah.
But I'm not really afraid of too much.
No heights, none of that.
Well, I jump out of planes, so
yeah.
Got rid of my fear of heights a long time ago.
Skydiving is one of your favorite things to do.
Enjoy skydiving. Biggest fear is loss of my family, loss of my kids.
Yeah.
Somebody hurts my kids.
Oh, that's one of mine too. Yeah.
I can't be there.
Yeah.
24/7.
Yeah.
So yeah, family's everything.
Absolutely.
Yep.
But yeah, you hurt my kids.
Yeah.
Coming after you.
It's going to be a bad day.
Oh, yeah.
Without a doubt.
Absolutely. I mean, that reminds me of what the story of Job. He said, my biggest fear has come up on me. And, you know, his story, he lost home, kids.
Everything.
But he never lost faith in God. That's awesome. Last time we had Matt Furman, our fearless leader. Now we have Matt May. I asked, what was his hidden talent? And you know, of course, you heard the beatbox story.
Yes.
You know, you've heard. And then he got into some details.
I've seen it many times.
Yeah. So we're gonna ask you, what would you say, or what would people would say would be your hidden talent?
I have no talent. Put it that way. That's my hidden talent. Is no talent.
Hell, we got something, man.
Can't dance. Can't sing.
Yeah.
Can't beatbox.
Yeah.
Not exceptional at any one thing, but definitely not the
worst. Did you play
at
sports?
Anything. Did play sports.
Okay.
Football, right?
But my hidden talent is I can whistle through my eye.
See?
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Can we see that? Can you do it?
No.
That's
okay.
That's fair.
We'll have to do that on a separate podcast.
That's fair.
In water.
Yeah. How did you discover that talent? Because I've never heard that. I've never heard that either.
I don't know if I got hit by a car when I was 1.
Yeah.
And I was paralyzed on half of my body for a month. Parents freaking out. Mom,
right?
Definitely upset. Wasn't sure, if I lost hearing, vision, because I was too young to react to anything. But as I was growing up, I would have to go to see an eye doctor, an ear doctor every 6 months. They would test and make sure everything was still fine. But by the age of 16, they're like, okay, he's good.
Yeah.
But sometimes you're in water and you plug your nose to equalize the pressure.
Right.
Well, I did that, and I had bubbles come out from my eye.
Oh my God!
And I was hearing a high pitched squeal.
Yeah.
Were you freaked out when that happened?
I was just like, "Whoa, my eyeball coming out or something?"
Yeah.
I got to the top and went to a mirror, and then I can hear, this high pitched whistle and bubbles coming out of my eye.
Now you got to hold Matt to that.
That's really cool.
Do that one day.
That's
not
really
on the podcast tonight, but definitely.
That's awesome. Well, Matt, we always like to shout out a few companies, and I don't know if you probably worked with a couple of these, but these are companies that we work with and ones that we enjoy. Golden's Worldwide, MSHS, and RPG. Those are 3 companies we love working with.
Absolutely,
and I enjoy working with. So, this is a part that you and I have gone to. Actually, after like a month of working at Core Group, I came to Matt and I was like, "Hey, can we just go to lunch and I just want to learn about your SEAL team career? I wanted to be a SEAL, just like." 4 years ago, I wanted to join.
I didn't know that. Yeah, you told me
I went to the Navy office, was about to sign the line, and I was like,
"How old are you now?"
I'm 25.
Oh, dude, you're
he's a young.
I know. That's what you tell me. You tell me, hey,
you got till 34, man.
You tell me if I mess up anytime here that you'll just send me there.
Matt's still recruiting for the SEALs.
So, if you could just go through and kind of go through just how it started, how you got there, what the training was like, what you learned, and get into a little bit about SEAL Team 6.
Oh man, I hate this part.
I know. I'm sorry
because I don't like talking about it. We got all these guys that write books and do movies, and that's just not me.
Yeah, I know.
But I get it. People are interested, and prior to certain things, we really didn't say much. But now everything's declassified. But I won't get into specifics. But, grew up in a small town in Goodrich, Michigan. 1 stoplight, cornfields, small schools.
Michigan.
Knew I was not going to go to college.
Yeah.
And graduate because I was too stupid. Not motivated or self-motivated in education. Love sports, but like I said, I wasn't anything spectacular.
Yeah.
Was sitting in science class. I remember as if it was yesterday. Sitting in science class, I got Joe Janiga to my right. I got Scott Perry, my 2 best friends.
You remember both names?
To my left, I was in Dr. Shields' science class, sitting in the far back corner. And Joe comes in. He's like, "Yeah, I'm going to join the Navy and be a Navy SEAL." And I'm like, "What the heck is that?" Because I was looking at Green Beret and the other special forces, but didn't know that the Navy had a special forces. And he's like, "Yeah, they're the best of the best." And I'm like, "Yeah, okay, I got to go check this out." So I went to all the different recruiting stations. And then the Navy, they showed me this video. And they hooked me.
Yep.
And what I saw in the video was nothing like reality.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was the Hollywood version.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the SEAL side is not the Hollywood version.
Yeah.
People think it's all, you're always shooting and diving and jumping. Well, there's a lot of sitting around in between.
Wow.
There's a lot of boring hours to get to that 5 minutes of fun.
Yeah.
And I always say, hey, be careful what you wish for because you might get it. When you're a kid, you play, cowboys and Indians and, guns are cool. Once you get to war, not so cool anymore.
Right.
Yep.
I'll say, okay, I got mine. I'm good.
What grade were you in, Matt? When you
10th grade.
That was 10th grade.
Okay.
Wow.
I went home. I was 17 years old. Went home. Actually, I was 16 and then turned 17.
Yeah.
And then told my mom this is what I want to do. And they had what they call a delayed entry program.
Yep.
So
Like
I
6
wasn't
months.
allowed to sign on the dotted line. So my mom had to sign for me. She was not thrilled.
Yep.
And then I went into the Navy 1 month after graduating high school.
Wow.
I always tell everybody, don't do that.
Yeah.
Wait. Do a year, 6 months to a year at least. Enjoy your last summer because it's the last one you're ever going to get. For free.
Yep.
And, but I mentor and I advise a lot of young people on, joining the military or the SEALs. Obviously, I'm partial to being a SEAL, but it was a good life for me and the right choice.
Wow. Wow.
That's awesome.
That's
so
awesome.
when you went to boot camp, is that in Michigan? So
No,
or it was in.
You go and get your medical screening, you do all your admin paperwork for joining the military, whatever one you're going to join.
Yeah.
And then they send you to boot camp, wherever it's going to be. For me, it was down in Orlando.
Oh, really?
I came in as an enlisted person. So there was a boot camp in Chicago, San Diego, and Orlando. Orlando's not there anymore. Now I think they only have boot camp in Chicago for Navy.
Yeah.
There was nothing out there as far as being a SEAL, so there's no preparation for it, not like the programs they have today.
Yeah.
But it was, hey, you show up to boot camp, and they throw you in the water. You got to take a test. You got to do push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups, a run, and then a swim. And they're like, hey, your swim is a 500-meter side stroke, and you got to do it in 11 minutes. I'm like, okay, what's a side stroke?
Yeah.
So very little
what?
preparation to pass. But I signed up to be a SEAL, but you still got to pass the test.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, I don't even know how to do a side stroke. And it's a technique thing. It's not.
I was going to ask that.
It's 100% technique.
Yeah.
And I barely made it.
Yeah.
And I think I had 10 minutes and 35 seconds.
Wow.
And made it. Then you go through boot camp for two months, and then you got to take the test again at the end.
Really?
And then from there, you're slated to go to BUDS. Now, when you do that, at the very end of boot camp, you're generally taking the test with a bunch of other guys.
Yeah.
And you're kind of prepping about the last 2 to 3 weeks. They get you into the pool a little bit more often, et cetera. They're not, setting you up for failure.
Yeah, they're trying to get you ready.
Yeah.
But there was this big guy. Big guy. Built like Greek Adonis. Everything you can picture as a SEAL.
Yeah.
Because everybody thinks SEALs are
He's textbook SEAL.
big guys, 6'2",
Yeah.
cut, ripped, super strong, best runner, best swimmer, can do all the push-ups, pull-ups. But he was leaving 2 to 3 weeks before me. So he gets out there, apparently, and I show up. And you can come into BUDS at all times of the night, depending on when you graduate, et cetera, from boot camp. And I flew out there around midnight.
And BUDS is in
San Diego.
San Diego, yeah.
Okay.
Coronado, California. So not a bad place to.
No.
Yeah.
live
They make it nice.
Yeah.
Live in a nice place, but they treat you really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I get out there, and guess who picks me up? The Greek Adonis picks
The big
me
guy.
up.
Yeah.
And he's in his dungarees, which is the Navy uniform, not the greens that we get as you're going through BUDS, but he's in his Navy uniform.
Like the white?
No, the dungarees is kind of like a working uniform, bell-bottom jeans.
Got it.
Very, very flattering outfit, I can tell you. It's not.
Yeah.
So you look retarded.
Yeah.
But he picks me up, and I'm like, hey, man, you haven't even started yet? He's like, no, I quit. And I'm like, oh, my God. If this guy quit.
You're thinking like,
wow.
I'm in for a treat.
Did he ever tell you why he quit?
No, I never saw him again after that because they process these guys out.
Yeah.
But he picked me up, and so I got there, showed up the first day. You go to first phase, not first phase, fourth phase, knock on the door. You know, you got your paperwork, you're in your uniform, your nice uniform.
Yep.
And they take my paperwork and they're like, all right, hit the surf. Now, I know what that means, but I'm like, okay, they're joking, right? I'm in my uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not joking. In my uniform, head on out to the ocean and get in the ocean and then roll around in the sand and get a sugar cookie.
Yep.
Wow.
Day one, that's where it starts. And you basically are wet and sandy
the entire time.
The whole time through.
Wow.
And there's 3 phases in Buds, right? There's just like the first one,
first phase,
then dive, and then the island, right?
Yeah.
Is that how it goes?
It was sometimes they flip flop the second phase and third phase. I don't honestly, I couldn't tell you what it is. I was Buds Class 170 back in 1990, and they're up to I think 353 now.
Wow. Yeah,
and they do about 5 or 6 classes a year.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So you have the physical part, the mental part, the after. So how long did all that process you would say take for you to actually say, okay, I'm a SEAL now?
Fourth phase is about a month or 2 months because they're kind of waiting for enough people to show up to class up. And classes at the time I was there was about 130 people.
Yeah.
And then each phase is 2 months long.
Okay.
So first phase, second phase, third phase. So I was there about 8 months total. Things are definitely a little different now, the way it's structured, what you kind of call different things when you get your trident, because now guys get their trident after what they call SQT or STT, SEAL Tactical Training, advanced training.
Right.
I didn't get my trident until I was at my team for a year.
Yep.
Because then they go through a board. You know,
I kind of
like the process back then.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Yeah. They've changed some things up.
But yeah, it was. Things change, but it's still a very, very difficult program.
Yeah, and they make it that way. And isn't it all the instructors are previous SEALs? Correct, the ones that
all the instructors.
So they've all gone through it. And then the big part that like everybody and not many people know about Buzz and everything, but some people that do know or what they've seen in the movies is Hell Week. And so talk to me a little bit about what that was like. And
Hell Week.
Yeah, it's a good word for it.
Yeah.
It's almost like the fraternity they have that.
So, I mean, it's Sunday not Sunday afternoon, Sunday at some point in time. It starts, you're in your barracks room, you know it's coming.
Yeah.
A bunch of instructors come in with smoke bombs and flash grenades and M60s with blanks. I mean, it's loud, but you know it's coming.
Yeah.
And that's when it starts. And it doesn't finish until Friday at some point.
And they're doing everything but the kitchen sink at you.
You don't see your bed. You very rarely see a bathroom. You're in the water so much. That's your toilet for the time being.
Yeah.
You get chafed pretty bad because you're always wet and sandy, like I said.
Yep.
And you get it looks like somebody took a belt sander, to your underarms, in your groin area, the top of your head, because you got the boat on it.
Yep.
Right.
You eat pretty good because they feed you 4 times a day, but your body is working so hard that it's breaking down.
Yeah.
Some guys are losing their toenails and fingernails, hairs falling out. Everybody's physiology is a little bit different.
Right. But it responds different. Yeah.
Bottom line, you'll make it through SEAL training if you just don't quit.
Yep.
You're going to get stronger while you're there. There's no other option to get stronger.
Yeah.
But most people don't make it through because the mentality. It's not because of the physical fitness. They were absolutely physically fit enough to make it through the program.
Yeah.
Outside of just mentally not being able to take the pain. And what I've seen most of the time is you can have a star athlete, who's never failed at anything. Man, I failed at so many things I can't even count that high.
Yeah.
So I know what failure feels like. I know what disappointment feels like. And so you can accept it and recover quicker. But those people who aren't used to failure, and you will fail in Buds at something.
Yep.
Even if you didn't fail, the instructor is going to make you think you did.
Depending
on how you react to that is going to depend whether or not you quit.
That's right.
So
that's right.
It's a big mental game.
Yeah.
Yes, it's physical, but the mental part is much more than the physical part.
Wow. I was looking up something that's interesting when you were talking, Matt. They were saying something how it's a term that psychologists use called rejection sensitivity. And a lot of our youth today don't have it. They don't like being told no or rejected. Mm-hmm. So to hear you say that, like that was a mental part that a lot of guys, you know, that have success, and when they hit a barrier mentally, they're breaking down physically, but just mental game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, failure is good. Everybody needs it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My daughters are in
Absolutely.
sports. You know, Avery, my daughter's in volleyball, and she'll get so upset when she makes a mistake in volleyball, and she'll put her hands up here. And, you know, I'm like, get your hands down.
Yeah.
That play is over.
Yeah, that's right.
Next play.
There's another one coming, and if you're thinking about this one, you're going to screw this one up. So get over it.
It's a great thing for life.
That's right. That's right.
So get through buds, you know, go through that awesome training, and then what happens after that? You go to, is that where you, I believe that's where you went to do, where you skydive, right?
No. No. You put in what they call a wish list. Doesn't really mean much, but basically pick a coast.
Okay.
Back then, each SEAL team was actually different. They specialized in a certain area of the world.
Yeah.
I grew up in Michigan. I liked to ski in the snow and the cold weather, so I wanted to go to SEAL Team 2 because SEAL Team 2 at the time was the winter warfare team. Mm-hmm. And I was very fortunate. Very few guys get everything that they want, but I got the SEAL team. I got the platoon that I wanted. Just loved it. And the first 10 years of my career was almost more vacation than anything because there wasn't a whole lot going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the first 5 years I spent at SEAL Team 2, did 2 platoons there. Great guys, loved them to death.
Yeah.
Learned a lot, had mentors. In fact, we go to Workboat Show, and one of the guys what I would consider probably the best guy out there for winter warfare is there, works for a company, so I get to
hang out with him. Yeah,
that's cool.
And hang out. So this guy taught me everything I knew about winter warfare.
Yeah.
But I just traveled the world, went to Scotland, Norway, Denmark, Holland.
And what are you doing when you're over there? You're working with
the other special forces.
Okay.
Yeah.
That are over there doing cross training, but you're also there that in case something happens in that part of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
There's a force there to deal with the issue.
Got it.
Wow. I want to go back to Hell Week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to go back. I want to get back there. When you finish Hell Week, like, how did they just give you a plaque and say, "Hey, we're gonna go"?
No.
Or
how
does that?
They don't give you anything.
Yeah.
They're just like, "Hey, you made it through Hell Week." So when Hell Week finishes, you get 24 hours mandatory bed rest. That's not too hard because you're going to sleep 17 to 18 of it.
Yeah.
But you wake up the next day. There's swelling. There's no swelling like this. Yeah, you look like Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Yeah,
because your body just went through a lot of stuff
trauma
over the last 5 days.
Yeah.
And you drink a lot of water, and usually they have pizza come in.
Yeah.
Probably not the greatest thing to eat right after your body does all that.
Yeah.
You're bloated beyond bloated. I mean, you don't have knees. It's basically a thigh all the way down to your ankle.
Jeez.
So you can't put your boots on, so they put you in tennis shoes for about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And slow running, but still running.
Describe how you felt after it was all done. Were you relieved? Were you just like...
Yeah. You're very, very happy that it's over with. Because, I mean, you're there long enough to see at least one class somewhat go through Hell Week, or at least finish it up before you start. So you have a sense of it, before it, and you know when it starts.
That probably helped a lot.
When it ends.
Yeah, and that probably helped a lot. Yeah,
but I mean, when you're going so much around Wednesday night, you kind of get into this what they call automatic mode.
Yeah, where you're just
very tired.
Yep.
Yeah.
And instructors can say stupid things to you because they're constantly messing with your head. We were doing this thing called Around the World, and it's in San Diego, and you're in the San Diego Bay, but you're also on the Pacific side.
Okay.
And they're like, "Oh yeah, don't fall out of the boat and stuff because there's killer whales out there," and you're believing them in this crap, And you've been going for 72 hours at that point. You're cold, you're miserable. And you're just rowing. And you're rowing forever because you're going all the way around Coronado Island.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So it takes a long time.
Yeah.
They keep messing with you. It's just a game.
Yeah.
But when it's over, you're happy because you get to rest and you get to eat. And, you figure you got one major hurdle done, which obviously that's the area that you lose most people.
Yeah.
But that's not the only. place they lose people.
Did you see a guy quit?
You got 2 more. You still got to finish 1 more month of first phase.
Yep.
And then you have 2 more major phases to go through.
Yep.
So
Dive
you're not even remotely done yet.
Yeah.
Did the guys that you start with, Matt, anybody quit?
Oh yeah, I had 100 and there were some people that quit prior to getting to Hell Week, but very few. We lost definitely the majority. Probably lost about 80% in
80%.
Hell Week.
Really?
Wow.
They just couldn't take it.
Just quit for one reason or another.
Jeez.
So came out of Hell Week with about 35 people. So lost about 100.
Wow.
And then when we graduated at the end, we always say, okay, who's the originals and who's the guys that roll in?
Yeah.
We had 19 people finish.
19 out of 100 plus.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That's, yeah.
Well, we can go on and on about this stories. I mean, we'll just shift him out of the seal. Let's transition to Matt.
Yeah.
You run the company. Tell people kind of what you do now. You've been placed in a new role. I want to hear a little bit more about that, and also where you want to take this company.
So when I first came on, started off as vice president of sales, a department of 1, me.
Yeah.
So Matt has been the sales guy, the accounting, the recruiter, and everything for this company since the beginning. And when I first met Matt, we were in our old building.
Yep.
And he only had the very far space on the right. That was it.
Yeah.
So he only had about 10% of that building. And I've seen it, flex up and down, obviously oil and gas, everybody knows, and that's a large portion of our business.
Right.
But he had about 16 people there when I showed up. I want to say I was either the 17th or 18th employee. But the focus was, hey, we got to grow business.
Yeah.
We got to get companies that need people. We had a good solid base of recruiters, and it was growth from there.
Yeah.
So I think we grew another 30 people by the end of that year. Like I say, I came in May.
Yeah.
Grew our job count from 100 jobs any given month to about 300 a month.
Wow.
And then in 22, obviously, it exploded.
Yep.
Wow.
Did it great.
Yeah.
And did a huge hiring blitz.
Yeah, you hired me.
Yep.
Yeah, everybody in this room.
Everybody here.
But it's been great to see. We've diversified the company considerably.
Absolutely.
We love our core business. It'll always be our core business: maritime, crewing, offshore, oil and gas. But renewables is a huge piece of our business now. Technology is a huge piece. Medical,
absolutely,
aerospace. So we're well outside of the ups and downs of oil and gas. Still have a long way to go. But at a certain point, Matt, I think saw the writing on the wall, and to grow an organization, you have to have structure. You have more people that can focus on specifics. And I was here through the heavy growth, and definitely not just me. I mean, there's so many people here that take credit for the growth of this organization. But being here and seeing how we implement certain things, gives me some insight into, okay, how can we improve upon that? And Matt's focus needs to shift from basically doing everything, and now he's a CEO.
That's right.
Of a company, not just this company, but we have three other companies.
That's right.
And how do we grow all those organizations? How do we get them all to work together? How do we get all the groups within the company to work together? So I've had the title as president, but not necessarily filling that role. Still was heavily focused on the business development side. But now with Core Group Electrical Solutions, Licensed Mariner, and Core Group Consulting, and then we also have business advisory that we're expanding on. All those need attention. The core business is still definitely recruiting.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
The personnel to support those other organizations are still on the recruiting side. But they have to support the others. But we need to make sure that we take care of the core business first, and then grow the other organizations as we can in making smart decisions. So focus is strategy and the growth of the other organizations, and then just making sure all the departments and people work together.
That makes sense.
A fantastic job. So for those that don't know, what's your official title now?
President.
President. Yeah. Gotcha.
It never really changed.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just am not 100% focused on business development.
Yeah.
We hired Brandon Bazard, very smart guy.
Yeah.
Shout out to Brandon.
Yeah, he's been doing a fantastic job since he started
I'm
here.
sure he will be joining.
Very shortly
as well.
Very shortly.
Absolutely.
And very capable, but he is now our chief commercial officer.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So, you have like a really great team around you, the sales team that you've built. What events are coming up or throughout this year that you're excited that they're going to or that you're going to?
Wow. We, I think when I first got here, Matt had a few things that we would attend, but we really stepped it up in 21.
Yeah.
Really stepped it up in 22.
Yep.
And then we doubled the budget for 23. We did about 77 events, whether we put a booth in or whether we just attended.
Yeah.
Last year, I think we're probably up to well over 100 this year.
Wow.
But we're actually, Ruthie's going down to Miami to the aerospace conference, leaves tomorrow.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
We've got 2 clay shoots coming up.
Yep.
We're big into the clay shoots. We like attending those, especially the ones that are supporting veteran
absolutely
related causes, PTSD. We are a veteran-owned company. I'm a veteran.
Yeah.
We have tons of veterans in this company.
Absolutely.
So we'd like to give back as well. We just did an event for human trafficking at Top Golf,
which was awesome.
Yeah. So we have Workboat at the end of the year. That's pretty much the big
one.
Big one. But we have a hydrogen conference coming up at the end of this month. We just attended an LNG conference. We attend a lot of renewable conferences. And then if it's here in Houston, we're most likely going to have a representative there of some kind. We've got executive roundtable meetings that we're going to be doing. Tim Tebow is going to be speaking at an event.
Nice.
And we actually got a table for that.
Absolutely nice.
That's awesome.
No, those networking events are fun. Yeah. I mean, I got to get on more with you guys. They are fun. We get to meet people.
They're awesome. Yeah. I got to, Matt sends me out to play golf, and that makes me happy.
I know. So, I know, right?
So our local golf pro who wins every tournament.
That's right. Every high five, represent core group, baby.
Every other one. I try to.
Transocean, here we come.
Yeah, we're going to be at the Transocean one, and we got 3rd last year, and we're going to get 1st this year. So
yes, sir. Y'all heard it.
Yep, it's coming. We'll look back and do it.
Put the pressure on yourself. You know
that's
that,
all
right?
No, we're good.
Okay.
We're going to win.
All right, no
pressure. We're going to win. It's going to be
pressure.
Good.
No pressure. So, Matt, let me ask you this. I mean, you've already talked about it. You know, the diversity, you guys, the culture we built here. You being at the forefront of a lot of change and growth. What would you say probably is the most challenging in your role, number one, and number two, what do you enjoy most about being in your role and position?
That one's an easy one because it's the same for both. People are the biggest challenge for any company because everybody has their own way of wanting to do things or how they do things. How do you get everybody to work together? Not everybody likes everybody. But everybody has to work together as a team.
Absolutely.
Even in the SEAL teams, there were a few guys that I definitely did not like.
Absolutely.
But I know who to go to if I want to get something done. And that can be a challenge in some organizations to find that person that you absolutely can rely on in making sure that those people are advancing within the organization appropriately, they're recognized appropriately. But people are always the biggest challenge. Sometimes clients can be a challenge, but internal processes and people are always the challenge. And then what's the most fun? Love the culture of Core Group Resources. I've worked for a lot of different companies, loved being a SEAL, 99.9% of the time, always enjoyed going to work. But I look forward to coming to work every day here. I like the way we treat everybody in terms of a relaxed atmosphere. Hey, you can do your job. I don't care that you're always in a button-down shirt and a tie. That's just not the way we do business. We care about the results.
That's right.
Here. So culture, people,
absolutely.
The growth of the organization by far is the funnest part of my day.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So when you think about, core group as a whole, where do you see us going from here on?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we definitely have big goals. Matt does not scrimp on, hey, let's just be a 10%, 15% growth year over year.
Yeah.
That's not how we've done business.
Massive goals, massive action.
We've done 100% growth 3 years in a row.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
2 years in a row. This will be the third year. And then he's been gentle with us over the next, and our goals are centered around 50% growth, because that was obviously a very significant growth over the last three, which we are on track. Very confident we will meet our goal this year.
That's awesome.
But the growth of the organization can always be a challenge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But as long as there's a plan and we got the right people in place, then
that's right.
Yeah,
that's right. And Matt talked about that. You guys, in alignment with, perhaps going global soon. You talked about
sending people out.
So you guys have a lot that y'all are doing, and we definitely have a lot of work to do as recruiters. So y'all giving us. I mean, we're
trying to give you guys good clients that are serious about recruiting.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoy working with our clients. I still have a very significant amount of engagement, especially for the clients that I've personally brought in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Love seeing them at the events. But it's recruiting, and it's contingent in most cases.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And we're racing
First
the internal recruiters,
line.
racing
Right.
other recruiting agencies.
Yeah.
We work with the biggest of the big to the companies that have one or two people.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
I thoroughly enjoy working with the smaller companies and seeing their growth.
Yes. Yeah.
And making sure that we're placing good people.
Absolutely.
A good example is ISI, the one you and I worked on.
Yeah.
That was a great company to work with.
Yes,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And unfortunately, one of the person we placed had to leave, but we literally
was 6 hours.
Yeah.
6 hours. We had to place on a direct hire side.
Wow.
And they were very happy. And we did not charge the client.
Yeah.
We could have, but we didn't.
Yep.
Because we just knew it was the right
thing to do.
We had a 6 hour placement. Was that a record?
Yeah, without a doubt.
That gotta be
without
record.
a doubt.
Yeah, it was fast.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was me. Shout out. It was Courtney.
Lightning
That was
speed.
Courtney on that
Courtney.
one. Yeah. Courtney did a great job on that.
Shout out Courtney.
Well, Matt, we always like to end, with a Bible verse, and we always like to, that's something we always, with God-centered being one of our core values. So today's Bible verse is Deuteronomy 31:6. Be strong and courageous. Do not fear or be dread of them, for it is the Lord your God who goes with you. He will not leave you or forsake you. Which I really like that one, speaking to your strength and everything you've done. So, thank you so much for coming on here. This was fun. This was amazing. We loved hearing about your background, everything you do here, and thank you for everything you do here. We love working with you and running the sales team and allowing us to do great things like this and everything. So
absolutely, look forward.
We hope you guys have enjoyed this podcast. It's been a fantastic one. You can find plenty of great content and other experts like Matt in our blog and our website description. Make sure you follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, all at Core Group Resources. Absolutely. And we'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much. Later, guys.
God bless you.